Hello everyone and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. Here you can follow me as I try to transition from a pretty good runner to possibly an excellent e-cyclist. My background is that I have been running for about 3 years, a little less than that, and I feel that although my times are going down, my progress is slowing down. And I feel that I can be an even better e-cyclist than I am a runner. So my ambition with my running before I transition to e-cycling is to make the national championship in marathon. And to be able to do that, I need to run a sub 2:34. And then within a 12-month period, I will also try to make the national championship in e-cycling. That's also somewhat tough, but I think for me it will be easier to manage that one. My history within running has been plagued somewhat by injuries. The two worst ones is that I got a stress fracture, which put me out for about 2.5 months. I couldn't run at all. When I came back from that one, it took me several months to even get back to my old level of performance. My second injury was when I ran the Malta Marathon. With about 5 kilometers left, I didn't sprain my Achilles tendon, but it started to hurt a lot, and I could barely finish. I was on pace for a 2:48, but I came in a little less than 2:55, so I had to limp the last distance. And the physios after that one told me that I wouldn't be able to run for 3 to 6 months. So then I made a decision to buy a Swift bike with a Wahoo kicker, the standard package, and start to race and train seriously on Swift. And when I did that, I saw that my performance was improving very quickly. I did a ramp test and I got 272 at 79 kilos. Then 2 weeks later, I did a regular 20-minute FTP test. I got 313. A week later than that, I got 410 watts for 5 minutes. A week later than that, I got 348 as an FTP. 2 weeks later than that, I got 440 watts for 5 minutes. And then finally, I think 9 weeks into my cycling career, which is not a lot, I would say, I got an FTP of 361. So I held 380 watts for 20 minutes. And if I look that up, that means that I am at 4.6 watts per kilogram as my FTP, and that's better than my 10K running PB, which is at 35:44. And that's pretty amazing. 9 weeks of cycling, and I'm a better cyclist than 2.5 years of running, which was what I have done when I set that PB. So that's why I decided try to get the most out of my potential as a runner, but then transition to cycling before it's too late. Since I am 47 years old, I feel that my body is already in decline, so I need to do something now, or else it will be too late. So the videos of this channel, they will be primarily running focused for as long as I'm running, which is probably a few months from now, at least. It's now August, and I will at least be running up until the end of November. Then I will make a decision. Is it worth marathon training during the winter to run a marathon in late February, or should I transition to e-cycling in the beginning of December? But that depends on how my running goes, what marathon time I can do if I run Växjö Marathon. I think I should be able to do at least a sub 2:44 marathon at Växjö Marathon for it to be worthwhile training over the winter for a marathon in late February. Also, I have to point out that one of the benefits with cycling that I saw when I started is that the injury risk is very low as compared to running. I found out that when I run, if I increase my mileage to around 130 to 150 kilometers per week, I usually start to feel my body feels like it's getting injured, and if I continue on that road, I will get injured, as has happened 2 times. When I started to e-cycle, on the other hand, I could easily do 15-hour weeks right from the get-go without feeling anything really in my body. Of course, I was fatigued, but I didn't feel injured in any way. And I continued that one. I think my lowest training week with the lowest amount of hours was maybe 10 or 11 hours. And that was, so I didn't have to do any build-up like you do in running, slowly build up mileage. I didn't have to do that with cycling, so I think that's perfect.